On the Grateful Gab family, what's good? Welcome back to the Grateful Gab podcast. I know usually on Thursdays and Saturdays I do the Sports Huddle here, but I'm going to be actually retracting the Thursday Sports Huddle show, and it's just going to be a filler episode, and I'm just going to be able to bring the sports shows to you on Saturday because my co-host here will be available most likely on those days. And again, I don't want to be able to just do the sports show by myself on Thursdays. My co-host has a new employment. And, that's very important to him. He has to be able to, manage that, be able to take care of his family. And I totally respect that. We spoke about it. And I just actually decided this morning that I won't be doing the Sports Huddle shows on Thursday anymore. So it'll just only be Saturday. Plus the NFL season is over. So we really won't have too much stuff to cover on Thursdays. Besides like basketball, NCAA, NBA, and the spring season of baseball is approaching as well. So, but this morning I will be, like every day, I will be getting to the daily verse, and then I'll be going over the 50 greatest all-time rap list. I'll be reviewing that, giving my opinions on it, things of that nature, all that good stuff. The daily verse for the day of February 16th, 2023 derives from the book of John, chapter 15, verse 13, and it states as follows. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. And again, that's from the book of John, chapter 15, verse 13. And I'll be getting this information from Billboard.com. I guess Billboard are the individuals who rated the list and made the list and things of that nature. And this definitely is a fluid list. It's not concrete by any means. I'm going to kick it off, and I think this is even disrespectful to kick it off. Shout out to Rick Ross for even making the list. It's been thousands and thousands and thousands of rappers, so to be able to make the top 50 is cool. Rick Ross kicked it off at 50. I definitely think Rick Ross could have been in the top 30 easily of rappers of all time. He's definitely an icon, a gentleman, a lyricist. His production is always amazing. All those type of things. But I definitely think Rick Ross should have been higher on the list, but he came in at number 50. Moving on to number 49, we have Run DMC. They're an older group, basically like one of the first producer rap groups probably in the game. So shout out to Rev Run and Run DMC. They got number 49 on the list. Moving on to number 48, we got Melly Mel. I'm not too familiar with this artist, but of course, he had to be one of the first pioneers of hip hop in some type of way. So a lot of northern rappers are definitely on the list. A lot of rappers from like New York, those type of things, just because New York is the birthplace of hip hop. So don't be surprised if there's a lot of New York rappers on here. Shout out to them anyway. Then we have number 47 coming in with MC Lyte. I feel like this pick right here, number 46, is very disrespectful. They have Jadakiss at number 46, and me personally, I feel like Jadakiss could definitely be top 10, top 15 easily rappers of all time. Just his impact on the game, his wordplay. He's definitely unmatched with being able to spit bars, his approaches, his punches, all those type of things, man. Jadakiss is definitely one of those unique talents of the rap game. So I feel like this is definitely a snub. Jadakiss could easily be top 15, top 10 rappers of all time for sure. All right, number 40, and coming in at number 45, we had Ice-T. I'm not too familiar with Ice-T either, but he's definitely, again, another pioneer, another individual who put the West Coast on the map. For being, not being, he was during that time of hip hop, early hip hop, the East Coast, New York rappers were big. They were only basically rappers is out, really being mainstream, introducing hip hop. And then the West Coast came about. Then you had the Ice-T's, you had the Eazy's, the Cubes, the Dre's, the 40s, E40 them, Mac Dre's, all these type of individuals, that started to come out the West Coast. But Ice-T was definitely one of the first pioneers to be able to put the West Coast on the map. Then we had Queen Latifah at number 44. We had Bun B at number 43. I definitely think Bun B could be higher as well, just because the not the player circle, the UGK count with him and Bun B. With him and Pimp C would definitely top tier as well. And one of the first pioneers, again, one of the first groups out of the Texas area to really, put a stamp on the South music, the Southwest music or whatever. So shout out to Bun B. Then we had number 42, Redman. Again, another snub. I definitely think he's a top 30 rapper as well. Shout out to Redman. He's an awesome lyricist. Again, his approaches, his metaphorical style, all those type of things. Then we had E40 at number 41. Again, and this list is absurd to me personally, because as you get closer and closer to the top 10 and the top 15, you have people who you have artists who are definitely not more influential and more talented than these artists at the bottom 50. But we had E40 at number 41. Shout out to E40. He's another gentleman who was definitely a pillar for the Bay Area, and he just one of those guys who's timeless. Number 40 coming in at number 40 was Dr. Dre. Again, he was a part of that era with the NWA, Eazy-E's, Snoops. He all those type of people. He was discovering those guys and putting them in position to be able to be where they are now. So another disrespectful artist. Number 39, Ludacris. I feel like Ludacris is definitely one of the best lyricists ever to rap in the game. You know what I mean? And shout out to Atlanta. He's another Atlanta artist. He wasn't born in Atlanta, but he definitely claims Atlanta. That's where he was raised at. He represents us to the fullest. So shout out to Ludacris. He definitely should be higher on the list. Definitely snubbed. Again, another great Atlanta artist for sure. Then we got another Atlanta artist. Shout out to Gucci Mane. You definitely can't not have the creators of trap music and trap sound not be on this list. So shout out to Gucci Mane. I definitely think he could have been in the top 30 as well, maybe even like low 20s, just because of his impact and how he's been able to really, give out quality music and the amount of quantity music he has released. He's released over 70 plus, albums, mixtapes over the time he's been in the rap game. So definitely shout out to him. He was one of the big artists who put Zaytoven on the map, and it's been history ever since. So shout out to the A again. Shout out to Gucci Mane, the whole 1017 camp. Then at number 37, we have Common. I think Common's a pretty good artist as well. He's out of Chicago, representing for the Chi. Then we have number 36, Mos Def, aka Mos Def, but his name is Yasin Bey. Yasin Bey is Mos Def, so he made the list at number 36. Then we have number 35, Future, again another Atlanta artist putting on for the A. I think Hendrix could have been a little bit higher as well, but he came in at 35. Then we have Chuck D at number 34, out of Public Enemy. We have Chuck D. Then we have number 33, Busta Rhymes. Again, Busta is one of those artists as well. Significant lyricist, metaphorical guy. Punchlines are insane. Rap fast, slow, whatever. He can get on any beat, demolish it. So shout out to Busta Rhymes as well. Moving on to number 32, we got the King of Atlanta, T.I., a very own, again, one of those pillars. The first ever gentleman to ever release an album called Trap Anything. So trap music, he's definitely one of the originators, again, one of the kings of trap music. Him, Gucci Mane, and Young Jeezy definitely are the three pillars of trap music in my eyes, and they all come from Atlanta. So shout out to those boys, man. Shout out for putting on for the A. And again, T.I. is one of those artists as well who could definitely be higher on the list. I think he should be in the top 20, top 15 easily of artists. But, I didn't make this list. It's fluid, so whatever. Then coming in at number 31 was Lil' Kim. Again, I would never, me personally, put her over artists like Gucci Mane, artists like Ludacris, Jadakiss for sure, T.I., any of those type of artists. But, hey, I didn't make the list. The list is fluid. Number 31 is Lil' Kim. Moving on to number 30, we had Lauryn Hill. Lauryn Hill's impact in the game is definitely different. She's definitely worthy of being on the list. So shout out to Lauryn Hill. She came in at number 30. Pusha T came in at number 29. Number 28, Black Thought. I really don't know too much about him. Then moving on to number 27, Q-Tip. Yeah, Q-Tip was definitely a dope artist, out of New York as well. So he was a part of the hip hop group, A Tribe Called Quest. and definitely a soulful sound, definitely more influential. The impact those type of lyrics that they had were more of motivation and just trying to build you up, those type of things. So shout out to Q-Tip as well, coming in at 27. Long live Big Pun. Big Pun came in at number 26. Method Man came in at number 25. Shout out to Method Man, another member of the Wu-Tang Clan. Definitely again influential artist. Definitely somebody who has impacted countless generations through lyrics, through movie, all those type of things. So shout out to Method Man, came in at number 25. Number 24, we have KRS-One. Again, KRS-One came in at number 24. We got number 23, Kurtis Blow. We had number 22, Ghostface Killah. We got number 21, Long Live DMX. DMX, he could have definitely been higher on the list as well. Definitely one of those pioneers for being on the scene, being a New York rapper. Definitely, put his foot down, was able to, really, articulate his words and paint pictures, what he was saying and just how he moved and just his whole persona. He was definitely a legendary MC. So long live DMX. Then we had at number 20, this is top 20, we had Big Daddy Kane. Moving on to number 19, shout out to the VA, shout out to Missy Elliott. For sure, one of those producer rappers who definitely put on for women, who put on for Virginia, who definitely had her own unique style. She was definitely in the future for sure. Coming in at number 18, we got Ice Cube. Shout out to West Coast, shout out to Cube. Definitely an awesome lyricist. An awesome, just, MC for sure. Just being able to take NWA to what they were, to, be able to do his own thing, all those type of things. Be able to be a mogul in the film industry, be a mogul and a legend in the rap industry, all those type of things. So shout out to Ice Cube. Then we had number 17, 50 Cent. Shout out to 50. That was my favorite rapper growing up. And by all means, he definitely ran the rap game in the early 2000s. Then, now how he's transitioned to the media side. He's dominating the media side with the BMF series, the Ghost series, the whole Power series, all those type of things. He's definitely dominated. He's dominating, and he's going to continue. It looks like he's going to continue being on that level for a long time. So shout out to 50. Moving on to 16, we got Scarface. Moving on to 15, we got J. Cole. J. Cole definitely could have been a top 10 rapper for sure. Out of North Carolina, definitely put on for North Carolina. He put, just an outstanding lyricist, motivator, a guy who speaks about, the troubles and the things about, how we maneuver as black men on this earth, and being able to, take those obstacles and those what's the word I'm looking for? Those traumas, and be able to put them into, words of encouragement and ways of understanding to be built up as an artist and as a man. So number 14 had LL Cool J. Number 13 got Rakim. Number 12, another Atlanta artist. Shout out to Andre 3 Stacks. Turn Up. I actually was able to meet him when I was a child at my chiropractic office. Actually, it was pretty dope. So I got to see him, sit down to him, talk to him. Just a genuine guy, down to earth, just a real solid dude, and obviously he a legend. So shout out to Atlanta. Shout out to the Atlanta artist that made the Billboard top 50 greatest all-time artists. Moving on to number 11. Number 11, we have Kanye West. Kanye West made the top 11. And this was, I feel like, personally, me, at number 10, the top 10, this is the top 10. And Nicki Minaj made the top 10. And I just feel like that's so disrespectful, again, to all those artists that were behind her on the list. Is Nicki Minaj a bad artist? No, I don't think she's a bad artist. Do I think she's top 10 of all time? Definitely not. For sure not. Like I said, I would put Jadakiss over her top 10 easily. I would have put T.I. over her top 10 easily. I would have put Young Jeezy not even on the list. I would have put Jeezy over her top 10 over the list. You know what I mean? I would have put Lil Jon over her on the list. Lil Jon not even on the list. Lil Jon literally created a whole era of crunk music. He was a producer and a rapper, and he did not make the list. So whoever made the Billboard list, you know what I mean? I just think they're definitely just on her meat. Not pun intended. I don't think she's definitely a top 10 rapper of all time. You know what I mean? From the beginning of rap to 2023, Nicki Minaj is not a top 10 rapper of all time. Take it up with who you want to take it up with. If you think I'm wrong, you're wrong for sure. So, but whatever. Shout out to Nicki. You know, she made the top 10. Number 9 on the list was Snoop Dogg. Shout out to Snoopy. For sure, OG in the rap game. Still doing his thing to today. Still one of the biggest artists you probably, know in the world. Everybody know who Snoop Dogg is. So, shout out to Snoop Dogg. Moving on to number 8. Number 8 is Drake. Champagne Poppy. Hits after hits after hits. That's Drake. Then we got number 7, Lil Wayne. Again, another guy. Hits after hits after hits. He should have definitely been top 5 for sure. Then we got number 6, Notorious B.I.G. And the thing about B.I.G. and Tupac, I'm not saying they're not worthy of being on the list, but they haven't had enough music in their span time to be able to say greatest of all time. You know what I mean? I feel like, they should have definitely made the list because of the impact they had in that time and era. But they never had a chance to really grow, to really see what they could become as artists. You know what I'm saying? They were both taken out as young men in the rap game. They were both in their mid-20s, younger years of their life. And they weren't really, still, finding their groove in the rap game, finding their groove in the culture of rap and things of that nature. And another thing about me personally that I discredit Tupac from is, he's from New York, and for him to be able to incite a West Coast East Coast beef and be on the West Coast side, that was just puzzling to me. That was just real crazy, and how people really backed him when knowing that, in that era they knew he was from New York. I learned later on in my life that he was actually from New York. That's what really threw me off. Because I'm thinking, like, growing up, when you hear about Tupac and West Coast beef and East Coast beef, I'm thinking, like, Tupac from L.A. He got California love. He dropping all these records to shout out love to the West Coast. But that was because it was that time and era he was in and where he was signed to. Death Row Records was out of the West. But Biggie was with Bad Boys out of the East. But both of them were childhood friends. And they became childhood friends because they knew each other from New York. They was raised in New York City. They was raised in New York. You know what I mean? So that's my only takeaway from Tupac and why I don't give him the best rapper of all time, because how can you be the best rapper of all time or one of the best rappers ever and, you discredited your roots? You know what I'm saying? Like, you discredited your roots. You went from, this, that, to I'm from the West now. I'm a West Coast. I'm from L.A. But you're not, though. You were from New York. You know what I mean? So, but whatever, though. So, but again, I just can't consider them top rappers of all time just because, again, from that fact that they weren't blessed to be able to really blossom into what they could have been. You know what I mean? They were only given a certain amount of time and a certain era to be able to put their music out there. And yes, their music is timeless. They have timeless records. But there are individuals on this list as well who are still alive who have timeless records. You know what I mean? And they're further down on the list, and they're still able to be here and put music out. You know what I mean? So that's just my take on that. Moving on to number 5, Eminem made the top 5. Eminem is definitely another lyricist who had to be able to be on the scene and, just really prove himself. One, trying to be a white man in the rap game. Hip hop was predominantly black. Now we've evolved to where it is now, but Eminem was definitely the first, Caucasian individual to be able to really get on the scene and really make an impact and show what type of artist he was. You know what I mean? So shout out to Eminem. Then we had number 4. We had number 4, Tupac. Again, Tupac came in at number 4. Shout out to Tupac and his camp, his whole people. I'm happy for Nas. Nas came in at number 3. Nas is definitely one of those prolific artists, top tier. I think a lot of people definitely sleep on him still to this day. But he's definitely, one of those top tier artists, and I enjoy listening to Nas a lot, actually. I enjoy listening to a lot of these artists on this list, but I enjoy listening to Nas. He's definitely again, prolific MC, lyricist is, unmatched, and he's definitely, top tier for sure. So definitely well deserved. Coming in at number 2, we have Kendrick Lamar. I would have put probably Drake over Kendrick Lamar, just because of Drake's consistency to be able to release music, and when he releases music, it's hits. You know what I mean? he's going to at least, if Drake drops an album, he at least is going to have 4 to 5 platinum hits on there. He's going to have at least, 5 to 6 gold songs on his album average. You know what I mean? So that's my take. I'm not saying Kendrick Lamar is not a top tier rapper. I don't think he's number 2. But he's definitely, deserving of being on the top 50 list. And to round it out, we had number 1, Jay-Z. I was kind of, I was kind of mixed and matched in the decision to put, Jay-Z at number 1. But he's there. He's definitely made impacts to be able to, he definitely made financial strides in the hip hop game. He's a large hip hop mogul, but he also is very business minded, and I think that's a big reason why Jay-Z became number 1 on the list. He was the first ever billionaire to be first ever rapper to become a billionaire. But he, all that money that come from music, obviously the money he got from music, he put it into business ventures that made him a billionaire, which is obviously intelligent. And I think that's a big reason why he did become the number 1 rapper. I'm not saying he's not an artist who hasn't had, countless diamond records or certified platinum and gold hits and things of that nature, won plenty of Grammys. But again, a lot of these artists on this list can fall into that category. And again, my notable mentions who I would have put on the list would have been Lil Jon. Lil Jon definitely is deserving of being on this list of top 50 greatest of all time, top 50 greatest rappers of all time, again, because of just the impact he had in the era of crunk music. You know what I mean? The crunk, he created a whole era of music. You know what I'm saying? He is the crunk king. You know what I mean? And that has a whole label of identity for his own self. So again, those you can get this information from Billboard.com. That's where I got my information from, Billboard.com. And again, it's the top 50 greatest rappers of all time. So again, from 50 to 1, you can look at the list yourself, reading the details of impacts and the things that they accomplished over the time frame of their rap careers and things of that nature. Tomorrow, Fun Fact Friday here on Grateful Gab Podcast. Make sure y'all tune in, get some great fun facts. Like, comment, subscribe on all major podcast platforms, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, wherever you get your podcasting platforms. Wherever you get your podcasting going. Check out my YouTube channel. Like, comment, subscribe there. Hit that notification bell when you get notified. I drop some new videos. I actually have a new video posted from earlier this week. I dropped it on Sunday afternoon, right before the Super Bowl. I dropped it. I premiered a video of my daughter's birthday celebration in New Jersey. We went to the American Dream Mall. We went to the Nickelodeon Universal theme park there. So y'all check it out, man. It was definitely a great time. Definitely a great video. A lot of love and fun in that video. Shout out to everybody who was a part of that, who made it possible for us to be there, and who was there celebrating with us as well. So I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all check us out tomorrow. And until next time, y'all be blessed. Have a great day. Be in the moment. Be thankful for today. Give God his glory and praise. And let's just make the best of it. And until next time, y'all, I'll see y'all around tomorrow. Again, Fun Fact Friday here on the Grateful Gab Podcast. I love y'all. Be safe. Peace.